Hello fellow Commander players, we're back for another episode of Common Clash, but before we get to the video, let's share a couple of things. As you may know, Common Command is having a giveaway that is ending in a couple of days on June 8th, so stay to the end of the video to learn how to enter. We also have a Patreon with amazing benefits, so please consider joining the Common Command team. Alright, that's enough, let's get to clashing. Today Mark is playing his Saskia the Unyielding. He keeps an opening hand of Gisela Blade of Gold Knight, Thalia Heretic Cathar, Anguish the Making, Time of Need, Birds of Paradise, Overgrown Tomb, and a Plains. Next we have Edwin playing Omnath Locus of Rage, and he keeps a hand of Ogre Battle Driver, Broken Bond, Grow from the Ashes, 2 Forests, and 2 Mountains. Bethel is playing Rakdos and keeps a hand of Fire Slinger, Theater of Horrors, Nullspine Dragon, 2 Swamps, and a Mountain. Lastly, I'm playing my Unesh Sphinx Tribal deck with a hand of Atimus All-Seeing, Rapid Hybridization, Cancel, and 4 Islands. Beto starts turn 1 with a Bam, and he plays a Mountain. He passes and I draw a card and play an island. I then cast Brainstorm, drawing 3 cards and putting 2 back on top. Mark draws and plays a Full Art Forest from Earth Seed 137 and casts a turn 1 Birds of Paradise. He passes. Edwin ends turn 1 with a draw and a land for turn as he passes. Beto draws and plays a Swamp. He then casts a
Fire Slinger.
After that, he passes. I draw and play an island, quickly ending my turn.
Pass.
Mark draws and plays another land from the Earth C-137 block and then casts a Thalia Heretic Cathar. He passes. Edwin draws and plays a mountain. Beto draws and plays another swamp. He casts a Theater of Horrors and passes the turn. I play an island for turn and again just pass it over. On my end step, Beto uses his Fire Slinger to ping Mark's Birds of Paradise while losing 1 in the process. Mark draws and plays an Overgrown Tomb tapped. He then casts a Time of Need, going to search as he swings 3 damage at Beto. Mark eventually decides on a Selvala. Edwin draws and plays a tapped Stomping Ground. He then casts a Broken Bond, destroying Theater of Horrors and playing a Swamp. Beto draws for turn and plays a Mountain. He then casts a Mogus, God of Slaughter, making editing just a little bit harder for me, but I do enjoy the life loss. On my upkeep, I lose 2 life and draw. I then cast Pan Harmonicon and pass the turn.
For Pan Harmonicon. Yes, sir. You should save that.
Mark loses 2 on his upkeep and then draws. He plays a Rootbound Craig for turn and casts a Search Selvala. Heading to combat, he swings 3 more damage at Beto.
In a Beetle. First strike.
Edwin draws after taking 2 on his upkeep. He plays a Forest and casts a Grow from the Ashes, kicked, getting 2 untapped basic lands to the battlefield.
Parley.
Beto draws for turn and he tries to cast his commander, but realizes what must be done. He uses his Fire Slinger, taking 1 more damage to ping me.
You guys need a friendly rules so that we don't have to
I lose 2 life and draw for my turn and play an island. I then pass over an uneventful turn. Mark loses another 2 on his upkeep and then draws. He then activates Selvala, making us all reveal the top card, getting 3 green mana from 3 non-land cards and 1 life from the land he reveals. We all get to draw the card we revealed, feeling good about it until he then casts a...
Just sell up.
What does that do?
Nothing yet. I mean,
it does everything.
Using the City of Brass he revealed, taking 1 damage. Mark passes to Edwin. Edwin loses 2 life on his upkeep, which should have been 4 because of Gisela, but it doesn't have a major impact on the game. He draws and casts his commander Omnath Locus of Rage, followed by a Forest, creating a 5/5 elemental token. He doesn't have a token, so I provide him with a
Donkey.
but he takes Mark's Dragon Ball Z card instead. Beto draws for turn and plays a Tainted Peak, and then gets reminded of Mark's good doing.
I remember they gave you card draw. in a deck you can't get card draw for free. What?
He moves to combat and decides to only swing Mogus at Mark, which is halved to 4. But before combat is over, I finally make a play and cast Rapid Hybridization on Rakdos.
I'm just scared, bro.
Yeah, lizard?
After combat, Beto casts a Burnished Heart and passes, dissatisfied. I forget to lose 4 on my upkeep as I quickly cast a Gigantoplasm, making it enter as a copy of Gisela. We fix this mistake later on, so I just pass. Mark draws for turn and forgets to lose his 2 life. He activates Zavala. 3 land cards are revealed along with the Phyrexian Arena. He again mismanages his health and only gains 1 life when it should have been 3 and gains 1 green mana. He follows up with a Mina and Dan Wildborn. He plays his extra land, Overgrown Tomb, taking 2 damage to have it come in untapped. Mark hits the combat and decides to swing.
I'll swing this over here at Edwin.
For 20? For
20
20 damage.
It's crazy.
He takes 20 and heads to 16. At this point, we remember about the Mogus triggers and take our damage. Mark taking 2 and I take 4 because I didn't have my Gisela copy at that time. We then discuss the Giselas on the board.
So
Yeah,
you can deal 3 damage to that.
And then
but
if I
then
deal
Frank
another
still has
3?
his.
If I do another 3, it dies, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he has all.
Well, he has one. He has one too. So,
Yeah, but he's the one attacking with
Oh,
it.
you're right.
You attack me.
He
but-
started it.
But
He
remember,
started
I
it.
gave you 2 free card draws.
But you attacked me.
But I
bro.
gave you 2
He hit
free
you for
card draws.
20. He hit you for 20.
I'm gonna ping that, bro.
On Edwin's upkeep, he decides to sacrifice his token, hitting Gisela with the 3 damage. Edwin then plays an Evolving Wild for turn, making another elemental token. He tries to search, but we remind him of Mark's Thalia.
Hey, no, you can't sacrifice it. It comes in tap.
Oh.
Oh, bro, what you doing?
There.
Got one.
You get 1.
He then casts a Perleus Forlays, sacrificing his token to the enchantment to search for a land, but first he aims the 3 damage at Mark's Gisela, trying to take it out.
In response to you do that damage, I'm gonna Anguish on Making right here.
Oh,
It's
he's
all
exiling his copy.
Mark casts an Anguish to Making on my copied Gisela before his is taken out. The damage then resolves and Mark's Gisela is killed. Edwin decides to wait on activating his enchantment and passes. Beto untaps, draws, and plays a land. He then pays 3 for a Phyrexian Arena and passes to turn. I untap and lose 2 and draw a card. I play an island and finally bring out my commander Unesh. I get a double ETB from the Panharmonicon with Unesh's trigger and have Mark and Bethel make me some piles. For the first pile I take an island and Mystic Confluence, and the second pile I take a 7 CMC Sphinx along with an Isochron Scepter. I discard a 7 as Mark cycles his Ash Barrens for a basic land, taking 1 from the City of Brass. Mark untaps and draws again, forgetting to lose 2 from Mogus, putting shame on all of us. He plays a Search Mountain along with the Forest and casts a Tajik Blade of the Legion. Edwin sacrifices his token to search for a basic land, hitting Thalia for 3 damage and getting another token when the land enters. Tajik then enters, and when priority is passed, Edwin repeats the process of sacrificing and getting a land to take out the short-lived Tajik. But before he goes, Mark activates Zavala, revealing 3 non-land cards and 1 land, gaining 1 life and 3 mana. Mark then casts Primeval Glorious Rebirth, bringing back his legendaries from his graveyard. Mark heads to combat and swings 14 worth of damage at Edwin.
But, I mean, they're not all basic lands.
I'll swing both these at you.
He declares his elemental token to block Tajik, and Mark responds by tapping the City of Brass, taking 1 damage to give his Tajik first strike. His token dies, and he takes 8 from the hit, and Tajik is hit for 2 from the Omnath trigger. Mark then passes. On Edwin's upkeep, we actually remember the Mogus trigger, and he decides to lose 4 life because it is once again doubled by Gisela. He draws for turn and plays a land, which gives him another tapped 5/5 token. Edwin then activates his enchantment to sacrifice his token, deal 2 damage to Gisela, and get another token. He repeats this process, making Gisela take 4. After debating, Beto decides to hit Gisela for the final 1 damage with his Fire Slinger.
What's happening though? First you have to.
So I'm just sacrificing, bringing them back.
Okay.
Sacrificing 9 times.
Edwin then repeats the sacrifice a token to get a land and a new token processed 9 times, aiming them all at Mark.
Did I get pinged to death?
You got pinged to death.
You got bolted to death.
Lightning
So that's
bolt.
9.
He completely murks this man's existence. He then sacrifices his Evolving Wilds to get a tapped basic land and gets a second token. He sacrifices a token to get a land and deals 3 damage to Beto's Fire Slinger. On Edwin's end step, Beto sacrifices his Burnished Heart, getting 2 basic lands for the battlefield. Beto leads turn 8 by losing 1 and drawing 1 from the Phyrexian Arena and draws a card for turn. He plays a land and swings the 3/3 token I gave him at him.
Frank, I'm gonna swing a 3/3 beast at you.
I'll take 3.
He then casts his commander, Rakdos, for the second time. He then follows up with the Macaeus the Unhallowed, with Rakdos' effect making it only cost 3 black mana. He passes the turn. I lose 2 life on my upkeep and draw a card. Seeing that I can easily take out Edwin, but would struggle against Betho, I decide to make a deal with Edwin to have him use his sacrifice effect to hit Betho for 30, but he demands that he is allowed to use the rest of the lands in his deck to target me. I won't touch you at all this turn.
So I can't deal more damage to you? Other than 9?
No, it's either you deal 30 and 9, or I'll just kill you right now, bro.
39.
Knowing that the rest of his lands in his deck won't be enough to take me out, I accept the deal knowing I will win. I then cast an Argent Sphinx, getting 2 Unesh triggers, and get to put 4 cards into my hand. I follow up with an Atimus All-Seeing, getting another 2 triggers and hope that I can pull off that alternative win condition, but no, it's a no-go this game. I get another 4 cards to my hand and play my last Sphinx, Conundrum Sphinx. I finish my turn by putting 3 more cards to my hand and discarding down to 7, keeping my deal. Edwin sacrifices a token on his upkeep and aims 3 damage directly at Betho. He then casts an Ogre Battle Driver. He plays a land, getting a 3rd elemental token that gets +2/+0 in haste. He then activates his enchantment 9 times, sacrificing 9 tokens and getting 9 lands and wiping Betho off the face of Zendikar. His last 2 tokens enter with haste and +2/+0. He then decides to activate the loop 4 more times. He uses the Death Bolt triggers to take out 3 of my Sphinxes. Edwin then spends 5 more of his seemingly infinite mana to cast Crash of Rhino Beetles, which is a 15/15 creature that enters with haste and +2/+0. He moves to combat and swings me out with yet another clashing blow, but this time it's for the win. I died.
He did. Dang.
That game was definitely a slower one, but I could have sworn Mark was going to take it away early. He was able to cast giant threats from the very start, but this was problematic because we all seen him as the enemy. That being said, he was taken out by Edwin quite easily. I was put in an awkward position where I could have easily killed Edwin, but would have struggled to beat Betho, knowing that his deck is filled with giant creatures and I don't have effective ways of dealing with them. I probably made the mistake of teaming up with Edwin and taking on that deal, but that's part of Magic. You win some and you learn some. Betho's Rakdos deck is definitely powerful and one that we're all familiar with. When we have the chance to take out Rakdos, we do so because we don't know what bomb Betho's going to drop. This is the main reason why I took that deal with Edwin, because I just didn't know what to expect with Rakdos. But Rakdos couldn't handle the Bolt of Omnath. Edwin really did just slide under there, not really catching up on the radar because all he was doing was ramping. He got too many lands out and just generated such great value with 1 card and his commander. Games like these are a reminder that we need to keep track of the board state. Little things like losing 1 to 2 life here can have giant impacts on the game. Now, before we reveal the giveaway items, I just wanted to let you know that we also have a Patreon. We have a ton of amazing benefits for being a Patreon, so make sure to give it a look. The way to enter the giveaway is simple. All you need to do is like the video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment. This giveaway will last up until June 8th, which is when we will randomly choose our winning subscribers. Now let's go over the prizes. The cards we will be giving away are from our collector box opening, so make sure to check it out. We had some nasty pulls and are giving away a foil Zirda the Dawnwaker, a foil Whirlwind of Thought, and amazing box topper Ozolith. Along with these cards, we will also be giving away a giant D20 dice, a pack of Dragon Shield art mat sleeves featuring Dragon of Liberty, and 1 Liliana Dreadhorde General stained glass art wall scroll. So if any of these prizes sound interesting, be sure to subscribe and comment. Good luck to everyone who enters, and we'll catch you in the next video.